Join us as we spend one fine day in the Emerald City. Actually, I guess most of the day was spent traveling to the Emerald City, but we'll get to that in a moment. Autumn at Oz is one of the biggest Wizard of Oz festivals in the world, and we are excited to show you why we love this event. It is held each year over several weekends in September in Beech Mountain, North Carolina. We attended this event less than 2 weeks before Hurricane Helene hit this very area. In fact, a section of the road we drove to get up to this event was washed out during Helene. While we understand Beech Mountain is now in pretty good shape, there are still communities all around it in western North Carolina that are in great need. We donated to a charity we trust, Samaritan's Purse, that continues to be on the scene rebuilding from Hurricane Helene damage. Many homes, businesses, roads, and bridges were damaged or destroyed, and rebuilding will be an ongoing project for the foreseeable future. Many have been left homeless in the aftermath of the storm. We'll put a link in the description in case you feel led to donate also. We arrived at the Beech Mountain Resort to check in for the festival. We took buses up to the top of the mountain for the Oz Festival, but for an extra price of $22, you can take the ski lift up the mountain. The chairlifts are also used by people riding their bikes down the mountain trails in summer and fall. Once you are at the top, as you wait to enter the Land of Oz, you see signage about the man who designed this Oz attraction, which opened in 1970 and operated until 1980. In the 90s, the idea was developed to host an annual weekend festival at the abandoned Land of Oz theme park. Not all of the original park structures still existed, but many had been maintained. We started at the Judy Garland Memorial Overlook. The plan was to have Judy Garland appear at the grand opening of this park in 1970, but she passed away as it was being built. This overlook was built in her memory and had some awesome views of the area. Many visitors arrived dressed in Oz-related costumes, including this dog. Not everyone was a fan.
Entrance to get into the Gil Farmhouse.
I saw a little dog around here. It was right over there. It's on a leash now. It is, but it's also wearing a dress, which is inappropriate for a dog. Good. I'm glad someone did.
As the event started, there was a hoedown going on at the Gale family farm, until Dorothy showed up, concerned about her little dog Toto, that is. Now don't worry, we aren't going to spoil the whole plot of the Wizard of Oz film, which came out in 1939. Nor will we spoil the ending of the book on which that film is based, which was published in the year 1900. But we'll tell enough of this story for you to see if it's something you may want to check out someday. Anyway, a neighbor named Almira Gulch was the victim of an attack from Dorothys Dog Toto. Miss Gulch is trying to have the dog destroyed, which does seem like an overreaction, so Dorothy decides to go into hiding after singing a song about her dream that somewhere there exists a place where pet owners are not held responsible for their dog's behavior.
I'm not sure you grasp the spirit of this story entirely.
Well, anyway, she's on the run. She meets up with the renowned Professor Marvel, who can see the future in his crystal ball. He also juggles and does card tricks. Dorothy receives a fortune-telling session for free, which is unheard of, and she becomes convinced she should rush back home to check on her Aunt Em. So we all rush back over to the Gale Farmhouse and take a tour of their lovely home. We even get to meet Aunt Em, who seemed to be doing just fine, until a tornado hits her house. We rush downstairs to wait out the storm in the family storm cellar. And once the storm is over, this house is just trashed. And it seems the house, with us inside it, was transported by the tornado to a magical land far away, where we were met by the Witch of the West. She's wicked, and she's going on about how we killed her sister. After surviving that experience, we queued up to begin an amazing journey. It began with an opportunity to meet Glinda the Good Witch, along with a Munchkin ballerina. Glinda suggested to us that we follow the yellow brick road and make our way to the Emerald City, where maybe the Wizard of Oz could help us all get back home. As we traveled through Munchkin Land, we were greeted most regally by the mayor, Then we came upon Dorothy, who began singing with a brainless scarecrow. Dorothy suggested maybe the wizard could provide a brain to the scarecrow. This began the pattern for the event. As we followed Dorothy along the yellow brick road, she would encounter a character and sing and dance with them a bit. Then Dorothy would invite them to join her on her journey to the Emerald City. And we would all queue up to pose for a picture with the character Dorothy had just met. From there we met a heartless Tin Man, and as we got into a darker part of the woods, Dorothy became irrationally afraid of lions and tigers and bears. But we only actually encountered one of those things. Thankfully, the lion we met along the road was spineless, so he wasn't as much of a threat as we originally feared. These shows along the yellow brick road were repeated throughout the day from the time the Land of Oz opened at 10 a.m. until the event closed at 6:30 p.m., with new guests being ushered through the event each hour.
From there, we eased on down the road a bit and ended up in a much less friendly territory. We arrived at the castle of the Wicked Witch of the West. She was tracking Dorothy in her crystal ball and insisted that we not offer her any assistance. Next, we passed along a poppy field, which made several park visitors very sleepy. Now, when the Land of Oz was a theme park in the 70s, it only had one ride, which was a balloon ride that allowed visitors to ride over the park's sets. The ride was disassembled after the park closed, and only one balloon remains in existence, which we passed along the road here. After a long walk along the yellow brick road, where we met many interesting characters and enjoyed some musical performances and photo ops along the way, we found ourselves at the gates of the Emerald City. And from there, it was a short walk to the theater where the final show takes place. Did Dorothy find a way home? Did the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion get what they wished for from the wizard? We won't spoil the details of the ending, but I will summarize it by saying everyone had what they needed all along. One spoiler I will share is that the event ends with a gift shop. There are some more food vendors around too. The total tour comes to about 1.5 miles of walking. The whole experience can last 2 to 3 hours, depending on how quickly you walk through and how many meet and greet lines you want to stand in to get your pictures taken with characters. Tickets to Autumn at Oz were $60 plus taxes and processing fees in 2024 and are expected to be about the same this year too. Dates for the 2025 Autumn at Oz event will be announced this spring, and tickets will go on sale in June. The event usually sells out, so you do need to buy tickets in advance. We had a fun afternoon at Autumn at Oz. If you are a fan of Wizard of Oz or Wicked, or you just enjoy interactive theatrical presentations, then you will enjoy this event. Click the links at the end of this video to see some other attractions in this area that we enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so we can see you the next time we're traveling through.